Spiritual wisdom from Spirit Talker. This message for the daughter of God. Listen to me, young lady. He gave you wisdom and strength. I think they mentioned in the Bible he gave you wisdom. I think everybody knows that. And through the period of time that I've been alive, I come to realize how much wiser that a female is than a male, and mature mentally, emotionally, and physically. The things she physically can do compared to what a man can do, I'm sorry to say, yes, strength is powerful, but to bring life to earth and to live through a birth, to bleed for 7 days and carry a child of God for 40 weeks, don't that sound like she can leap tall buildings in a single bound? Point being, she is a very powerful creature. She got to understand what that man is in her. It's not about conquering every man, but to understand the man within her, and that she don't need a man, want a man, and she should never ask her father for a man because he sent her prepared. He gave her everything she will ever need. She just need to be aware of that, mentally and emotionally. Your mental is your spirit. Your emotion is your soul. When you believe in your spirit and your soul, then God knows, because your spirit belongs to God. When God whispers to us, it comes in the form of a thought. It comes in the form of a thought. And when you start thinking about that thought, that is you having a conversation with God. Because you're trying, that mysterious part, we're trying to figure out what he's trying to say. Because we've been programmed to man's ways, and the way man sees things, the way man does things. We don't know how to see with our spirit. Your spirit eye, your third eye. Your third eye, do you understand that? That is your unconscious eye, but it's conscious. Your unconscious is your spirit, because people are unconscious of their spirit. Your subconscious, that's your emotions. Your conscious, that is your physical. You're physically aware of yourself right now, here and there. Unconsciously, you feel some way about it, but you don't know. You know, that's your subconscious. You're like in the middle of the robot. You know, I don't know if it's true, but unconscious, you're not aware of your spirit. And your spirit can't be unconscious, because that is your life force. You can never be unconscious. Only your conscious can be unconscious for man, but your spirit can never be unconscious. And when the day it becomes truly unconscious in you, you're dead. Because when they find a way to get the spirit back alive again, they can start the heart, okay? But when your brain dead, that means the spirit has left the building. It has left your brain. It has left your mind. It's gone. It went back to heaven. Your soul and your spirit went up to heaven's gates. Your soul can't go through heaven's gate, but it can take your spirit up to heaven's gates. Until you confess to all your sins on earth, your mortal sins, only then will your soul release your spirit. Because right now your soul carries sins of the flesh, sins of the physical form, earthbound sins that keep your spirit bounded, purgatory, to earth. Until you confess him and they release you all, you're not going through heaven's gates. All the things you should have done, knowing that you should have did. All the things that, not just man sins, but heaven sins. You confess to all your heaven sins. Man sins is easy to confess to. And you just got to ask God for his forgiveness, and how can you fix them before you get inside heaven, if you can. This is a whole nother level. But you got to understand, a man, and trying to keep a man, it's impossible. A man don't know who he is. He's trying to conquer the world. And over the period of time in history, hasn't it shown that? Man is trying to conquer everything, anything. He don't even know why. He doesn't have the wisdom. And if somebody does something one way bigger, he's going to try to do bigger. Why? But that's what's in man. So to keep a man locked in this man's stage, it's an insanity stage. To try to please a man, it's insanity stage. He can bench more than him. I'm going to bench more than him. He can fight better than him. I'm going to fight better than him. He bigger than him. I'm going to be bigger than him. Man lives in a sane world. Do not get entrapped in insanity. BBLs, 304s. These are insanity of man. Man don't have no right to call you a name. But guess what? He know that man in you. And he don't want your man to match his man. No man wants a woman's man to be equal to his man. But it is. Even though you only got 10% of man, and man is 90%, man is 90%, and you're 10%. But what empowers your 90%, your 10% to his 90? What empowers your 10% man to his 90% man is the wisdom. And you got 10 times more wisdom. He don't have no wisdom in man's stage. That is mental and emotional, what he suppresses about himself. So he's not aware of that. That's why you can outman him. A woman can outman a man. She uses wisdom. You don't get, come on. Strength. He only strong when he's awake. He's only strong when he's aware. If you're wisdom wise, you know when to do and be and why and how. So it's a fool for a man to try to outman a woman when she has wisdom. Wisdom. The kryptonite to a woman is when you become a gentleman. And that's when she becomes a lady and she let go of that man in her. She cannot defend herself against a gentleman. She will melt in his hand. She is butter in the sun. And that sun is the kryptonite to her. And then when he pours it on her, she just melts away. The kryptonite to a woman is the gentleness of a gentleman. And when a gentleman knows to inflict that gentleness on her, every bit of her melts away. That man just runs out the door. It can't handle it. It's reverse psychology. A man has to learn to take his 90% man and overwhelm her gentleness in her man. Overwhelm her gentleness in her man. He has to take his toughness and turn it gentleness, and it will overwhelm her 10% man. And she cannot handle that. Understand that. Have a blessed day.
If you feel called to support this spiritual walk, me, Jesus, and God would be deeply grateful for your subscription to Talk to My Spurt, https youtube.com, Talk to My Spurt. On YouTube, through this channel, divine wisdom flows as a testament to their grace and guidance. Thank you for joining me on this spiritual journey. You have the Spirit of God inside you. He speaks to you through your thoughts,